Hey everybody, it's Joanna. I just want to make a little quick video. I might do another one later in the week, but I am getting ready to go out to California next week to do a show, and so I wanted to make a video for you guys before I do that. Thanks for everybody who's gotten tickets, and also with your VIP tickets. If you bought a VIP ticket, you obviously get to meet me after the show, and we can have a little talk, but you also get a free deck of my oracle cards, which I created a few years ago, and I wrote a booklet with how to use them. It's all the signs, all the houses, and all the planets. And I wrote a how-to manual, so to kind of help you guys out with that. If you're interested in doing readings on your own or practicing with your friends and family or whatever. But today I want to talk about some a question I've when you get interviewed by like magazines and TV, like little stuff like that, like they'll ask you always like people like will comment like sometimes maybe like the not smartest things on here. And one of the I've heard, I mean, a lot of people comment smart things, but a lot of the times I'll hear people ask, okay, well, if she's a psychic, how come she doesn't win the lottery? You know, how come she doesn't, like, you know, it just, and I want to break this down to people that maybe don't understand what people like me, people that were born with this ability, how our brain works, and why we don't go around winning the Mega Million all the time. And I really, honestly, I don't even play the lottery because like I just don't feel as though intuitively like it's in the cards for me. You know, I feel like I have to kind of like make things happen myself. I have to be a little bit creative and self-made. So I just don't think it's gonna work that way. But anyways, the reason why is this, is our brain, the psychic's brain, like I told you guys, I've been doing it since I was really little. I was born with it. It runs in my family, and usually that is the case. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't get everybody in my family, but just like anything else that's genetic, that's something I got. So my brain is just wired different. And anybody that does this kind of work and is born with it, like, I'm not talking about the people that try to be psychic and do spells and all that stupid stuff. Like, if you're born with it, your brain is wired different. Numbers, AKA lottery, are not vibrating on the emotional realm. This is one reason we don't do it. Psychics, we vibrate on the emotional realm. So we can feel, in my case, I'm clairaudient strong. So I hear, not an outside voice like spooky, it's my own. I'll get warnings. If I feel like somebody's evil, I'll know how to stay away from them. I'll get warnings about them. If I feel like something's good, if I feel like I should do something, you know, and we're human, so we don't always listen to it. But, you know, since I've been doing this for 15 years professionally, I pretty much try my best to listen, although I'm not always perfect about it either, because sometimes I want what I want and I disregard that voice that I hear. But I'm also clairaudient, which is I get flashes and I see pictures of things that are going to happen. So since I work on an emotional realm of picking up vibes of people, predicting the kind of person you are, which is why I work with so many business people and entrepreneurs, because I try to help them decide who to hire, who to, you know, what accounts to take, stuff like that, what's going to benefit them. And it's not because I'm thinking like in terms of business, although, you know, I do own a business. I'm thinking in terms of emotion, like, okay, relationships, like, is this person going to be good for you? Is this going to work out if you hire this person? If you notice how I do readings, that's how I do it. I'm not an accountant. I'm not like, okay, well, you need to take this stock and put it in here. But I can look, if you ask me, should I move this here, whatever, I can look because I'll get an emotional feeling. So since numbers are not emotional, far from it, right? There's only one answer. We don't vibrate with them the same way. I mean, I've never been sitting, I've sat and gotten a flash of like, boom, this person is this. But I've never in my life sat and like got a flash of like a bunch of numbers. The other reason is because like I always say, and I will say this to the day I die, time is not linear. And when I do readings, I always tell everybody that. So keep an open mind. If you want a time, you know, I'm probably not going to be the person to go to because I feel like it's not accurate. It's guessing. And just like if you know, I always talk about the physicist that met with me, same thing. He agreed. Time is not linear. So you got to kind of keep an open mind. That's why I always say to tape record or at least take notes with your readings, because Courtney is like really a big time a part of this video today. Because you got to save it, because sometimes the stuff happens years later and I hear about it all the time. You know, it's there, it's going to happen. It's just what I'm tapping into. So again, when we talk about emotional job, psychics, we are born with heightened sensitivity, what is around us. I personally have to, I call it molting. If I've been around too many people for too long, and I've done this my whole life, I have to like get reclusive for a while. So before a show or after a show, you will notice that I do that. I deal with a lot of energy in shows. There's a large amount of people and that and so I'm being like zapped in every single direction when I do a show, and it takes a lot of energy out of me. So I usually rest for a while before, and then when I'm done with the show, I rest as well. So and also with that emotional thing, you'll see most of us that are born with this tend to have more creative jobs, because the creative side of the brain is the same side of the brain as the psychic part of the brain. So you'll obviously, I'm in entertainment, so, and I do write and I do voiceovers and everything else. I am drawn to creative work. I always have been. I just find it like just more fun, and I'm better at it than like sitting in an office or something. I need to be creative. That's who I am. And a lot of people that have this ability are the same way. They're very creative people. They're, you know, photographers, they're artists, they're writers, they're actors, they're musicians, but entrepreneurs, you know, that's a real creative one. We just vibrate in that frequency. So those are the other reasons why. The other question you guys asked me, and this is a really good question, seriously, is do you ever turn it off? Like when you're like walking in the store, and sometimes I'll tell you what, I have a hard time in stores. Like if I'm feeling my frequency's too high, and I have those days when it's super high, and I'm usually really on during those days, but it gives me anxiety. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of the store. There's too many people in the store. I'm like picking up this. And sometimes your brain's like, there's like wires are being crossed. So, you know, I have all these electrical issues, like the register will shut down. I'll have to walk away from the register. That's Uranus, by the way. Uranus gives psychic ability too, but it's higher frequency. I diligently try to shut it off. So when I'm not working, I try my best, like not like if I go out to a party and like people I'm just meeting somebody for the first time, I'll just tell people, don't tell them what I do. Please don't tell them what I do, because I don't feel like doing readings when I don't feel like being on all the time. So I try to cut it off and save my energy. But one weird thing I do if I'm just in that mood, and everybody that does what I do probably has their own system, is I wear sunglasses. And I know I wear sunglasses anyways because I live in Florida and I don't want like a bunch of wrinkles under my eyes, but I wear them to like block that. And I know it sounds crazy. I've heard of people having other techniques, but it works for me. And sometime it was like dark out and somebody was like, why do you have your sunglasses on? Because I have to block energy sometimes, especially if I'm going into a place where I'm not getting good feelings about people, you know, like, and I'm usually pretty right on with feelings. If I get that feeling, I feel like that's God and my angels kind of being like, yeah, stay away from this one. But that's what I do. But sometimes I'm forced to be in those situations. You know, I do my best not to be, but it's happened. So what I started doing is I wear sunglasses, and it's crazy. If you're an intuitive person, try it out. Like even in the grocery store, if you're just feeling like off, it really actually, to me, it does work, kind of block. And we need to block sometimes. It's just the way it is. All right, I will try to have another video out before I leave. I'm so excited about seeing you guys out in San Diego on the 15th. I'm really, I can't wait. I love Viejas Casino. They treat me so good. And I cannot wait to see everybody out in California. All right, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.